Hello everyone and welcome to HowFixIT. If your iPhone 17 power button doesn't lock the screen, won't wake the phone, only works sometimes, feels stuck, or has no click, or your camera control button is not responding, this video is for you. In this step-by-step guide, I'll show you how to replace the iPhone 17 power button flex cable so the button works properly and clicks normally again. For this repair, you'll need a precision screwdriver set, plastic pry tools, tweezers, a suction cup, and a screen disassembly tool, which are all essential for safely opening an iPhone. You'll need a 9-volt battery with 2 wires and clamps to remove the battery. To restore water resistance, you'll also need adhesive sealing tape. I've included links to all the tools and replacement parts in the video description below. For the best results, I highly recommend using a magnetic mat to organize screws and small parts during disassembly. The iPhone 17 has dozens of screws in different sizes, and a magnetic mat keeps everything secure and helps you put each screw back in the correct place during reassembly. Let's begin by accessing the internals through the back glass. Remove the 2 screws flanking the USB-C port at the bottom of the iPhone. Next, place your iPhone face down and use a regular hairdryer or heat gun to warm the bottom of the back glass until it's slightly uncomfortable to touch but not burning hot. Heat the back glass for about 2 minutes with a hairdryer or up to 90 degrees Celsius, 194 degrees Fahrenheit, with a heat gun. The goal is to soften the adhesive holding the back glass to the middle frame. Once heated, place your suction cup on the lower portion of the back glass and pull up on the suction cup handle with steady pressure to create a small gap between the back glass and the frame. Insert a thin pry tool in the gap and carefully separate the glass from the frame. If no gap appears, apply more heat or add a small drop of isopropyl alcohol to the gap between the frame and the glass. Then try again. To maintain the temperature of the heated glass, remember to periodically warm its surface as you work. As you work around the phone, never insert your pry tool deeper than 3 mm. This is crucial because there are delicate components close to the edges, including a cable near the volume buttons and multiple spring contacts around the entire perimeter. At the top edge, the back glass is held by 2 hinges. When you reach them, push the back glass slightly downward to release the hinges. Carefully swing the back glass open toward the right side of the iPhone. Like opening a book, you'll now see the battery connector cover secured by 2 small screws. Remove the 2 screws securing the battery connector cover, then use your tweezers to remove this cover. With your plastic spudger, carefully pry up and disconnect both the battery and back glass press connectors. Now you can fully remove the back glass from the phone. To remove the battery on the iPhone 17, you'll need a 9-volt battery with 2 wires and clamps. First, gently peel back the silver adhesive tab on the battery using tweezers. Connect the red wire to the positive terminal and the black wire to the negative terminal of the 9-volt battery. Clip the black negative lead to the lower right grounding screw on the bottom speaker. Then clip the red positive lead to the silver adhesive tab on the battery. Make sure the red clip makes contact with this silver point on the tab. Hold a steady connection for 1 minute and 30 seconds. The connection must stay solid for the adhesive to release. If the battery doesn't release, the most common causes are an unstable 9-volt source. The battery may be weak and needs replacing, or poor contact between the adhesive tabs and your wire clamps. Use a suction cup to lift the battery and remove it from the iPhone. On the back of the battery, there is an electrically released adhesive. If you are going to reuse this adhesive, do not place the battery on this side. If it's damaged, I've included a link to replacement adhesive tape in the video description below. Remove the 4 screws securing the connector bracket, then remove it. Using tweezers, carefully separate the flex cable from the iPhone chassis. Remove the screws securing the flex cable in place. Disconnect the small camera control contact lead from the main button flex cable. Do this slowly to avoid tearing the cable. Remove the final screw and lift the camera control contact lead off the main cable. You can now remove the flex cable that contains the side button and camera control button mechanisms. If your iPhone 17 side button is stuck, hard to press, or not responding, and your camera control button isn't working either, replacing the button flex cable can restore functionality to both buttons. I've included a link to a compatible replacement button flex cable for the iPhone 17 in the video description below. Install the new button flex cable into the iPhone housing and secure it with the screws. Reconnect the small camera control contact lead to the main button flex. If the battery's electro-adhesion tape is still in good condition, you can reuse it. If it's damaged, I've included a link to replacement adhesive tape in the video description below. Place the battery back into the iPhone housing and route the cable so the connector lines up cleanly with the logic board socket. Reconnect the back glass cable and the battery cable to the logic board, then power on the iPhone to test that everything works properly. After the first boot, verify that the power button and the camera control button function correctly. Once everything passes, let's restore water resistance. Open the iPhone again and disconnect the battery and rear glass cables. I recommend covering the camera lens with a protective sticker to keep dust and debris off the glass. If you don't have one, just be extra careful and avoid touching the lens while you work. Remove the old adhesive tape from the iPhone's frame. Once the iPhone is opened, the adhesive tape loses its sealing properties and can no longer protect your device from water and dust. We'll replace it with new waterproof sealing tape to restore dust and moisture protection. Just keep in mind this won't bring the phone back to factory water resistance, so it's best not to submerge it after the repair. If you don't have new adhesive tape ready, it's better to leave the old tape in place until you're prepared to replace it. Clean the perimeter of the frame where adhesive will be applied. Use a cotton swab cloth with isopropyl alcohol to wipe away any oils or debris. Then let it air dry completely. Carefully align the new adhesive along the edges of the frame and make sure it sits evenly all the way around. Press it down around the entire perimeter using a plastic tool so it bonds securely. Then peel off the protective liner to expose the adhesive surface and continue with reassembly. Reconnect the back glass and battery cables to the logic board, then reinstall the bracket and secure it with the 2 screws. Please note that the bracket has 3 loops that must fit into their grooves on the main board before you tighten the 2 screws. Carefully position the back glass over the frame and press down, starting at one edge and working across. Apply firm, even pressure around the entire perimeter to ensure strong adhesive contact. Finally, reinstall the 2 screws near the charging port to finish assembly. If you found this guide helpful, please like this video and subscribe to HowFixIT for more detailed repair tutorials. Visit our website for more insights and do-it-yourself guides. Remember, every tech challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.